inside yourself. You are more than what you have become. Remember who you are.
What's up, and welcome to Wake Up Disney. I'm James.
I'm Chase.
I almost fumbled. Almost
said it wrong.
Almost.
I was like, wait a minute. The name's different.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, here we go. This is not good. Not good. Anyways, yeah. That was cool. Anyways, let's get the chat overlay on. For those of you listening to the podcast, as always, we are live on YouTube Sunday evening at 8:00 Central Time. Dan hopping in. OMG, Darth Chase. I wish y'all could see Chase right now. He's got the lightsaber. He's ready to go. He is ready to.
I really like this lighting. Actually,
it is really cool. Honestly, it is.
This might actually go with this for a little bit.
Wait. Hold on.
You get a screen grab. Get the screen grab.
That's the best I got. I can get a little red lighting behind me. How about that?
Nice.
There we go. We are full out dark side tonight. Craig, what's happening, man? Thanks for joining in. Anyways, this is going to be interesting. We are going to be talking about part of Chase's most recent trip, because the trip report is definitely going to have to be a two-parter.
Definitely.
Whoa, it got dark.
I know. I'm about to turn the lights on. It's going to get pretty bright now.
Come on.
I know.
That's lame.
I know. It's crazy. I know.
Lame.
I know. I got to take this off in a second because it's getting hot.
You'll be okay. Get a fan. I got 2 fans over here blowing on me. Come on. Dang, now your hood doesn't look as good.
Yeah, it's like it got messed up in the it got messed up like in the trip back.
Had it looking right like a while ago.
Completely. Yeah. It's like that little guy there just wants to stick up. Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna put this down.
You got a cow.
Put this down. We'll put this down and take this off anyway, because I can't read it the whole time. I just wanted to do it from the beginning. Anybody who's watching or watches later will get to see it. You podcast people, if you just listen, you're not getting the full experience here, because I am definitely Star Wars geeked out tonight.
Wishes and Samantha Lowe, welcome in. Lisa Kim, what's up, stranger?
I even have my my Obi and my tabards on here.
Yeah. I'm wondering, are we even live on my channel? Like, because everybody's from here.
Everybody's coming on my channel.
What's happening?
I don't know.
It is live. Okay. Just nobody's there. That's fine. That's cool.
Interesting.
There he is. Satisfactual Sign Co. Derek, what's happening, brother? So when placing Hattie, we got to talk about this since we saw him. Since placing when we were placing the Hatbox Ghost, we had the perfect location.
Yeah.
For TikTok. You can't see him.
Can't see him on the YouTube setup.
Can't see him on YouTube. Yeah. It sucks. Got to figure.
You know what you need? This is what you need to do. You need a second nail, and it needs to go right. Yeah, right. A little bit more to the left and down, just a little bit. Right there.
Because I have a command hook right here, but for some reason it keeps falling, and I have a I had another one of these pictures up there. Yeah, it busted. It busted. So gotta figure that out. Gotta figure it out. Anyways, as we were saying, we'll get back to normal here.
Hey everybody, David T, Molly, Jordan, what's up? Wishes.
A lot of people checking in on your channel tonight.
Lisa Kim, I don't know if I missed Samantha. What's up? Okay, I think I got everybody there.
There's Mom.
And your mom's here. We got the crew. Molly, I don't know if I said hey or not, but there we go.
So, but
right.
yeah, we're going to have to do a 2-parter on the trip report because you were gone for
Almost 2
10.
weeks.
Yeah,
Almost 2 weeks. About 12 days. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot to cover.
Yeah. I did not get a Guardians boarding group thing.
Epic fail.
Yeah, dude, I am so
You-
over virtual queues, man.
You are literally the only person I've heard of that was not able to get one.
So the bad part of it is that so where we were staying, the internet is like cell phone internet is not good, and we were having the whole week. We were having internet issues at the house, and they were supposed to come fix it but they never didn't come to fix it while we were there. So they're supposed to come fix it
Right.
at some point in time and upgrade the internet. If something wrong, like it doesn't, it's supposed to be like really fast and it's very, very slow download speeds. So yeah.
Tripped you up. That sucks.
Yeah. So and then we actually tried to do the whole 1 o'clock in the park one a couple of times and did not score that either. So
it's so crazy because like I'd be watching live streams and it'd be like 1:45, 2 o'clock, and they would make the announcement that the boarding passes were full. And it's like, what? Like it took that long
there
for
were
'em to fill up?
no, it was no, they keep making it throughout the day because people I guess keep asking can they ride the ride. And so like I mean one day I was at Epcot and I was over in France. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon and they were playing the spiel at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was like boarding groups were gone, 2 seconds after they went live at 1 o'clock,
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
That is really weird. Alrighty. But
Anyway.
today we are going to be covering the much anticipated report of the Galactic Starcruiser.
I said, like I said before, this is non-biased. This is not Disney paid for in any way, shape, or form. I'm gonna give my 100% honest opinion on the whole experience and let you know whether or not it is worth the money.
Derek said they're so easy to get.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. None of us got one, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Anyway, so moving on, let's get into the Starcruiser.
Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of just go with a general overview of like your arrival process. I don't think we have any pictures of like the.
Nah,
there's not any pictures of like
yeah,
the arrival area. So.
They're extremely common pictures. So
yeah, and it's pretty nondescript. So you have to kind of so first off you have to tell them kind of a time you're going to arrive, and they tell you you need to come between 1 and 4. That's what they tell you. And then you give them a time in that time frame, and then you kind of show up. And then they're very strict. So they have like a special exit, like in the Hollywood studios, like the backside of Hollywood studios for the Starcruiser, and like you go like to there's a guard station with like gates on both exit entry, and they literally check to make sure everybody in the vehicle is listed as a guest for the hotel before they even open the gate to let you through. It was they made sure everybody is on the reservation, so you can't just sneak in this place.
Gotcha.
So then you pull up and they luggage carts come out to the whole 9 yards. Get your luggage. They give you they got some free waters. They hand you while you're waiting, and you stand in a line. You actually go through security and metal detectors, and like if your personal bags, they check your personal bags like the old school metal detectors, not the new Disney fancy ones that you walk through and it detects guns or whatever. Like the old school ones, they take everything off of you, walk through the metal detector. So they do all that. Well, while you're standing in line, they come and one of the people comes over and they give you your magic band. So this is everybody in the party gets their own magic band, and
nice.
This is what it looks like.
So everybody has the same magic band.
Right, and then it's got.
Please tell me it has your name.
They did put your name on it. So
okay. Okay. Good deal. Yep.
They did put your name on it. I don't know if you can quite see it there.
Yep.
Yep. So you do get it's yours. You wear it the whole time. And the autofocus is off. So yeah, you wear that the whole time, and that's pretty much like it. They tell you to go ahead and have the. So I was kind of under like a false assumption when they did the the media previews for the Starcruiser, they gave all the media people, they gave them an iPhone with
Okay.
the Play Disney app on it.
Right.
And so I was under the assumption they were going to give everybody in your party an iPhone which just had the Play Disney app on it, and you were going to use that as part of your experience while you're there.
Right.
Well, no, they tell you just to download it on your phone, and it links. It automatically links to your stay, and it has functionality for the Starcruiser that's only available while you're staying there. So like once like on checkout day, once like noon comes around or whatever, like that functionality is gone off the Play Disney app. You
Right.
can't do it anymore. Because there's stuff you do in the Galaxy's Edge with the app that's different from what you normally do in the Galaxy Edge part of the data pad. So yeah. So anyways, like I said, you get your magic band, you go in, you go through the metal detectors, you go down this hallway, and there's like a kind of like a short little 2.5 minute video. You got
Mark Daniel.
Mark Daniels. He does he's like the official spokesperson for the Starcruiser, and he goes over like just a little kind of a welcome video, and then you board the shuttle pods up to the ship, which is a themed elevator. And it's really, you kind of get in the elevator. It's got these screen windows, whatever, and it looks like
Right.
you're on the Earth. And then all of a sudden, like you go, like you launch up into the sky, and you go up to the Starcruiser. And so then you walk in the Starcruiser, and you walk into the atrium. And oh, I forgot to say, they had a Magic Band scanner, and you did scan in with your fingerprint.
Okay.
Scan in with your Magic Band and your fingerprint to get into the hotel when you first got there.
And is that when you first saw the special scan?
I that's not when I filmed it. That's when I saw it because I had my hands full of stuff and I couldn't film it at the time. But
so yeah, it does have a different one. We'll show it real quick.
It does have a special. Actually, that effect that it has is actually that's like the little sound that you hear inside the Starcruiser when there's like announcements and stuff. So it's kind of like the bell dinging to let you know there's an announcement coming you need to listen to or whatever.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So anyway, so like I said, once you come in and you come into the atrium, they have somebody that meets you when you come into the atrium, and they tell them your party. They scan your Magic Band. They call them M bands to be sound less Disney and more Star Wars. They call them M bands, but whatever. And if your room's ready, you can go ahead and go to your room. They'll take you to your room. They'll show you where that's at. So we had to wait about maybe 5 minutes. They took some pictures of us when we came in. They had a photo pass photographer sitting there and took some photos of us, and then went to our room and checked out the room, and then you had till about 4:30 or 5 o'clock on the first day, and then like the story starts at that point.
Okay.
Have like a big welcome in the atrium area. Everybody's required to go to it. The captain of the ship's there.
Now, before going too far, do you want to talk about the room some?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
You got the
I
pictures.
think this is your.
This is when you're first walking in the main door.
Okay.
So we stayed in a Grand Captain's suite. So that's the biggest room that they have at the Starcruiser. It sleeps like 8 or 9.
Okay.
So this is the main area you're coming in. That's like you see this little counter area here. There's a little orange little orange box on there. There was some like little snacks in there, bottle of water, some things. They put bottles of water in the fridge for you that were there.
Nice.
The Sony themed bottles of water. You had those the whole time. There was a little sink area to your right. There's a closet right here to the left. You're looking straight ahead. That's kind of the living room area. You got the window on the wall, which is like your view screen. Out into space, which changes.
Unique looking furniture. Like
it is very unique.
Was it comfortable?
It was comfortable. I think just it's so new that the cushions on the sofa were very firm.
Yeah.
I think as they're sat on more. But you really, truthfully, I wasn't in the room, but just to freaking sleep.
Right.
Like I was literally not in the room the entire trip. Like I was out doing stuff the entire time. I mean, I did kind of like check it out. So there's so if you look on that right wall in front of you there, that's your TV in the wall. But actually also, so like when it's on, it shows you like where the starship is that you're on, and the planets that you're around. It shows the path you're taking. When the ship goes into hyperspace, you see it on that view screen outside on all the rooms, which is really
Okay.
cool. So you know, and you know the scenes change depending on what planet you're outside, you're orbiting or whatever. Under that television is one of those pull-out little beds, you know, the
Okay.
single bed, twin
Yep.
beds, right there. And then the other little kind of box on the wall back there is actually a crawl pass-through that goes into the master bedroom.
A crawl
Which-
pass through.
It's a little like crawlway. You can open that. You can slide the door open, and I guess it's just like for kids to crawl through. For whatever reason, they have that. I don't know why.
Okay.
But yeah, that was part of that. And you could definitely before you switched it, you could definitely sleep on that couch. The
Yeah.
couch is it's big enough to sleep a 8 foot tall person. It's giant.
Nice.
Yes, you could definitely sleep 2 people just right there, or even 3. Honestly, get two kids could sleep on that couch. To be quite fair.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice. Okay, so you
Crazy.
go to the next one. So this is, I think it was a king size bed, I believe.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, you know, I really, really like Disney's moderate and deluxe mattresses.
Mhm.
This mattress was not as good as those. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just because it's brand new. It hasn't been broken in. Hasn't been slept on much. You know, it was, to me, it was not as comfortable as other Disney mattresses.
Okay.
And it's got the Chandrilla Starline logo on the little runner right there in the middle of it. There's also there's a window on the wall in this room, just like in the living room. You know, viewports you can see outside. There's a TV on the wall. Yeah, there's your close up of your viewport there, and you can actually, there's a button on there you can push. There's like a white button kind of sort of right middle of the bottom of that. There's a red
Yep.
button above it you can push that will close that screen. Basically, it puts a screen down and it turns that screen off, so you don't want to go to sleep. You know,
Okay.
also turns those lights off around it. Those lights stay on. If this screen is on, the lights are on around it, which is kind of annoying. Like if you just wanted to lay in bed and have that screen on, and have
Right.
those lights off, you can't do that. You honestly would need to bring some like painter's tape and put over those lights to cover that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so there was also a pull-out table under that
Oh,
view screen. On
okay.
the wall right there is a pull-out table. I don't think not. This is the one in the, I think this is the main living room. So on the bottom right side is actually the emergency exit. That little handle you see, that's the emergency
Interesting.
exit out of the room. So you pull that, you open it up. There is a number on the back of that panel. We actually opened it to look and see. And you call not. You actually, if you had to emergently get evacuated from the hotel, you'd call 911 and tell them your room number. And there's a panel that goes out to the outside of the building right there. Yeah. But in each bedroom under the view screen, there's a pull-out table. Actually, it goes into the wall, so it's not in your way, and it pulls out just a few feet. So it's kind of got a couple of benches you pull out too. The benches pull out from the wall, and the table pulls out from the wall.
Carl says the lack of gravity in space must impact those mattresses.
Carl, that might be what it is. The Coke machine. So there was unlimited Coke in the dining room. There's also unlimited blue and green milk in the atrium if you were so inclined to drink that stuff. I didn't see many people filling up their cups.
Yeah.
So this is the bunk beds. So each bedroom had 2 of the bunk beds, and while they look small, they're actually kind of like it's wider than it looks. Like inside is wider than what the entrance is. So honestly, you could sleep over 6 foot tall person in that bed, and could sleep in there. Now the mattress is thin, like the orange part is the mattress you're seeing. It's thin, but it's not like my brother slept in that. He said it wasn't bad. He said it was. He said that mattress wasn't bad at all.
Okay.
I didn't get in there and try. I meant to get there and try it, and I never did. It was just, like I said, I was not in the room, but basically just to sleep, shower, and go to the bathroom. That was about it for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's the next picture you have.
They uploaded all out of order. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's out of order.
Yeah.
So okay. So like I said, back to the first day. So 5 o'clock in the atrium, they have the welcome thing, and that's when the first order shows up, and you're under first order surveillance, and then your day gets started. Like depending on which characters you talk, which cast member characters you talk to. Like apparently they must have had magic band scanners on them, because if you got in close proximity with them and talked to them for a few minutes, you ended up getting on the datapad app on your phone. You ended up getting missions to do to help those people throughout. So like if you didn't, like say if you didn't talk to Lieutenant Croy, which is the first order person, you wouldn't have got a mission for him. But I stopped and talked with him for a little bit at one point in time. Then I started getting missions from him. And the same thing with like the captain. I talked to her for a little bit. I started getting missions from her on the data pad. And like, whereas like my family wasn't as involved in the, doing other stuff as I was, because I wanted to experience all of it.
Right.
They weren't getting all this stuff on their phones to do. You also had like some different spots you could tap your magic band throughout the ship that would end up giving you missions to do. It would end up unlocking secret rooms in there. Like you could go to engineering, which was locked normally unless you had the, like through the data pad, got the ability to go to the engineering room. You couldn't get in there. There was a brig you could open with your magic band. There was a cargo hold you could open, but you had to like do certain missions to do all this stuff. And so like it depended on what you experienced and how much you did, how much you got to see the ship as well.
Right.
Noise level in the rooms, I could never hear any other families, but I also didn't come back to my room until after midnight every night, and there was a lot of families with young kids, and I feel like they were all asleep.
Yeah.
And I'll get to that later, like how kind of one of the cast members I talked to said it was the deadest at night he'd ever seen it in any of the nights that he's been working there.
Interesting.
So, yeah. I think it was just the fact that it was Memorial Day, and it was just a lot of families with young kids that were staying this time, and it was just not very. There wasn't a very like young adult active crowd on this one. So,
gotcha.
So yeah, so all these missions and so we had. So I started doing my missions, and we had dinner actually at 5:30, 6 o'clock on night one.
Okay.
And I'll say I don't know how much of the food pictures you got posted.
I got a good bit of the food. I was gonna say, do you want to save food for the end?
Yeah, I can.
Do it as a lump.
I can. Yeah, I can just do it as a lump, and I don't know. Yeah, so I'm not sure what order that comes in. I'm not sure. What is the next picture you have?
So I mean, we can move to the bridge area.
Okay, because I actually took this when I was just kind of roaming around the first day. I think some of these I did. So the bridge was a very large area, and you actually could end up getting there was a lot of stations. Each station had the Arabish on it, and it would have, then it would, it would translate to English when you were doing certain things. When you weren't when it was just like you weren't doing anything in the bridge, it would be in Arabish. You could really read it. This was one of the engineering panels, and so there was 4 stations that you could do when you did bridge training, and everybody got a time slot for bridge training, and it said 45 minutes, and it literally was 45 minutes. I thought it was going to be 10 minutes in and out. You go in there, you push a couple buttons, and you're gone. Right. But everybody got to rotate through all 4 of the stations. You had like training at each station, and then you ended up actually having like a battle scenario where you were in there and you were fighting against like the First Order. It was really cool. This engineering station here that's on the screen now, that was very, very interactive. You'd have different things pop up on the screen. You get to match the buttons up to get it to fix certain parts of the ship. And everything was pushable, turnable, kind of similar to the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Just a lot more involved. Like this is the one station though that you're so focused on what you're doing on this, you can't look out and see what's going on out in space in front of the ship when you're doing the bridge training. So all the other stations you kind of you looked out the view screen, and you were you actually could do your job while you're looking at the view screen, kind of like playing a video game. Basically, you're looking at like a giant video game screen, and you were shooting stuff, grabbing stuff, and different things like that.
I thought I had a picture of that, but I don't guess I do.
And I may not took.
Here, right?
Oh yeah, so this right here, so that view screen goes all the way across, and basically you have stations. There's like weapon stations, There's stations called like loader stations. You'd have like little loader droids, and you'd be grabbing crates floating around in space and like taking them back to the ship with the loader droids. And so yeah, it was really fun. Like I said, you get through all the stations, and that's the shield station. So basically, you'd have to like rotate the shields to block incoming fighters and blasters and stuff, which was pretty neat. Like I said, it's basically playing a giant video game. It was a lot more involved than the Millennium Falcon as far as how much you're doing. Like everybody's doing something.
Right.
That's just kind of a general screen. There'd be like just kind of showing where you're at. There'd be like little messages that pop up from different characters on the screens right there. You'd have to watch those videos on those screens in the middle of your training and stuff. So it was a lot. Like I said, the bridge training was fun. It was 45 minutes. There was a lot to do there. Everybody's working as teams. You have like different teams doing different things, and you rotate through it. And
so you got to rotate through and kind of do everything.
Yes, you get to rotate. Everybody got to rotate and do every single station.
Okay. What about it? Like, what was your favorite part on the bridge?
As far as interactivity, like either the engineering station, just because you're so much, you had to kind of be a little, you had to be quick to like you pick out patterns and stuff to make different patterns on there to do things, and then of course the weapons, just because you get to blow up ships, and that was fun. I mean, blowing up TIE fighters, blowing up asteroids. Like the training part, you're just blowing up asteroids that were coming towards the ship, and then at one point the First Order shows up and you start blowing up TIE fighters. So and I actually as part of the trip, I wanted to experience as possible. So I played both sides. I played the light side and the dark side, both kind of. So I could get as many missions as possible on either side. So I was helping out the Resistance. I was helping out the First Order. And it kind of like if you want to just play one side or just play the other side, you can do that. And like I said, I was trying to play both so I could do as many missions as possible. I was looking at it like this is the only time I'm ever doing this. So I was just trying to get the most out of the trip that I could.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. I'm not sure what this picture is. Okay.
So this is the dining room. And those are like little weird looking chandeliers. There's three of those.
Those are so freaking cool looking.
They're really cool. They look not as impressive when you're sitting under them. So that table right in the middle, it's got the kind of the white and gold like round thing in the middle. That's the captain's table, and you can actually book to dinner at the captain's table, either night 1 or night 2. We did captain's table on night 2, and you do captain's table. It's a 7-course meal.
Oh,
yes. So the normal meal was just it was just breads, apps.
Rob, what's happening?
It was just breads, apps, entree, dessert. So 4 courses normally, but the captain's table was 7 courses.
So what does a 7-course meal consist of?
So you end up having extra appetizers and extra desserts. So the entree would still be kind of 1 course would be entrees, but you get to try all the entrees. But like you'd have like a bread service, then there was like another appetizer, then there was let's see, bread service, like an appetizer, a soup, another appetizer, an entree, then 2 desserts, and so that was the 7 courses.
Okay.
And there's also there's also a captain's toast to start off the captain's table meal. So they bring out for 21 and over, they bring out champagne. Under 21, they bring out like a juice, like I think it was it may have been Pog juice, it may have been something else. It wasn't blue or green milk, thank goodness. But yeah, they bring out champagne and do a little toast at the start of the meal if you're at the captain's table, which is cool.
Nice.
So then I'm not sure what the next.
I'm following your lead. Yeah.
I kind of wanted to just kind of go off. Okay, so I could say that for later. This is what I'm talking about now. This is actually this is the picture of the bar. Which I'm trying to think of the name of it now. I can't think of the name of the bar.
It doesn't look like what we saw in the previews.
So obviously that's the behind the bar, and so all of those little stations are popping bottles. That's right, Jordan. All those little stations are like it's just like Oga's where the drinks are pre-mixed and they pull a lever and they come out the thing.
Gotcha.
So all of your cocktails come out, all those little different like little colored things that have spouts on them are your cocktails, and they all come out of those things.
Interesting.
Yeah, it does look a little different than what you saw, like the kind of the concept art.
Right.
I think they ended up making the space smaller than the
Mm,
concept art because you definitely couldn't have any kind of performance in there. There
yeah.
was not room. It's not near. It's nowhere near as big as Oga's, but
Right.
you're not trying to serve everybody in the park either. And I felt you could actually, the nice thing about that is you could literally walk in there anytime you wanted to, no reservation, walk up to the bar, grab a drink, and there wouldn't be a line. You could just
Mm,
kind of walk up, grab a seat, grab a chair, grab a table. They had a sabacc table, which for people who are not Star Wars fans, sabacc is like a card game that's very popular in Star Wars. Had a table in there, you could sit down, you could play a couple of hands of that. It's really cool because they had an effect in the table where you'd have like holographic cards in front of you, which was really cool. Like they had a basically kind of like a piece of glass, and it was able to like you kind of like got projected the cards in front of you, but nobody else at the table
mm,
could see them, which is really cool.
interesting.
Yeah,
I'm
but
going to have to refresh. Keep talking.
no, you're good. Um, but yeah, like I said, there. So let's see. I'm trying to think. So like I said, we had the dinner. So night one was not our captain's table dinner. We just had a regular dinner. So that was actually it's about 2 hours because you ended up having there was a Gaia, the big superstar singer, Star Wars singer. She performs night one in
Mm,
during your dinner. So part of the dinner, it's a dinner show basically. She
right.
performs a concert, sings several songs. There's Coke in space. Yes, there is Coke in space. There's Space Coke.
Space Coke.
It's Space Coke.
Love it.
But yeah, so they're bringing out your meal, eating. She's performing. She walks around the room uh, during her performance, and she has one of the she has a little portable ear mic, and she walks around, sings, and so there's a little show.
Yeah, I got a little bit. Got a little video. You had a little video there. Chase went all TikTok on me and recorded vertically.
I didn't record everything that way, but for some reason, on like when I was doing this, I recorded stuff that way. I think that's the reason why I did it too. Is I was thinking like Instagram videos, like
Right.
are all that way. So what
Yeah.
what the heck is that?
Did I choose like the worst part of the song to put on there, Chase?
Uh,
Like,
that was
did she
just
always sound that?
that's how she kind of just sounds. No, it's just
Mm,
well, it was super dark in there, and we were at the farthest table in the room away from where she was standing. So
mm.
I'm super zoomed in trying to record it in a dark room,
Right.
and it doesn't look good, obviously. But um, yeah, that's kind of like, but she doesn't sing just like that's like that, and that's the song you hear when they remember that they did the whole like
Mhm.
when they first showed it. That's that song. But
Yeah.
she sings these other songs too, and she sings like one or two songs that are not they're not in any language that you know.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was very interesting. It's just like she's singing words, and you're like, uh,
Craig says there's got to be some serious booze for me to endure that.
well, I mean, you could definitely get. I mean, it wasn't included, but you could definitely drink as much as you wanted to at the dinner if if you were so inclined. Um, but yeah, so that's about 2 hour meal. Then after that, you basically go back and you know we were I was anyway doing missions up until 11 o'clock that night, uh,
Yeah.
12 o'clock that night. So it was basically like I was all over the ship doing different things, hacking into systems, and there's a lot of definitely interactive things to do, and it just kind of eats your day.
That's
uh
awesome.
like you lose track of time. Like literally, I didn't even hardly like stop to look at my phone unless I was taking a picture.
Right.
Didn't even know what time, or well, using the data pad. A lot to do things too. So, so what's you
What's
got?
up, Justin?
What's your next photo you got? We can talk about.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding? I don't know what's going on with Restream tonight. I have no control over it again.
Oh, awesome.
Like, I mean, I still hear you, you hear me, but I
Yeah.
can't control it.
Oh,
So just roll with it. Go with it, and I'll see if I can get.
Yeah, 'cause I definitely wanted to go through the food pictures and go over the food whenever if we can get to that.
Yes.
Although I don't think you can't do the thing you did earlier to make it work, can you? Probably not. So, anyway, like I said, that's basically day one. Like events kind of stop around 11 o'clock. Different storylines start playing out, and you're kind of like it's kind of asserting, whether you're on the light side or the dark side for the trip. The next morning, breakfast starts about, I think it starts about 7. It runs like 7 to 10, and then the transport shuttles over to Batu start running at 8 a.m. and then run all day till 4. The last one back from Batu runs at 4 p.m. So you basically have to 4 o'clock to get back on the ship.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what happens if you don't make that last 4 o'clock one, because they did at one point there was a bus stop for the Starcruiser at Disney Springs, and I think it's gone now. So I don't really know. I guess maybe you get somebody to like Uber you around the parking lot from the front of Hollywood Studios to the Starcruiser. I don't really know.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Please alert us of more singing. Wow, that was loud.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So I got up. I went to eat breakfast that morning. Breakfast was really standard. Standard Disney breakfast. The eggs tasted better than normal. They didn't taste powdered. They actually tasted real. Waffles. They weren't Mickey. They had like the Chandrilla Starline logo on them. They were round instead of Mickey shaped. Had sausages, blue and green milk if you want it. They had some, I think, like some fruit, granola. I think they may have had some cereal. Yeah, like I said, just pretty standard breakfast foods. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. And then,
so you want me to just kind of roll through these food pictures that I've got?
Okay, yeah. If you got the pictures up, we can do them.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go back to that now. Yeah. Okay, so this is actually night 2. So this is actually the captain's table dinner. This is the entrees that you're looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to decide what everything is. I can't remember. Okay, so the left side is beef short rib, and it was actually mashed potatoes under it, but they were yellow. Just a disclaimer: all the food is dyed in some certain way. Like there's most of the food that you eat on the Starcruiser is dyed with all these dyes that your body can't digest.
I bet that made things look interesting.
So it's going to make things look interesting when you go to the bathroom later on. Let me just tell you. But anyway, so that's it's beef short rib over there. That black thing is actually like a black carrot. It's really like a black carrot. Then to the right of that's actually a piece of lobster with the little black things on top of it.
Okay.
It's like a little strip of lobster. The
lobster looks like extremely small portions. By the way.
Yeah, it was. But you could eat as much as you wanted. If you wanted more, just tell them they'll bring you more.
Okay.
It wasn't like you're just limited to what's on your plate. That's all you can eat. The lobster was just okay. Not wasn't fresh. It was just okay. And then it's actually a piece of fish under the spinach and stuff there. It's like a little, and then it was actually a pea puree under that. So that the green under that is a pea puree. But also, the second night's meal was better than night 1. Second night's meal, I enjoyed it.
Before you move on, we do have another image with this one. Where did it go? I just had it. I just had my mouse on it. Where did it go? But that soup thing. There it is.
So this is one of the courses. This is actually the tube. So that whole cup is full of salt. It's just to hold that tube, and the tube has got like a tomato soup in it. It's like a tomato puree, tomato soup. That was the saltiest tomato, and not just because it's sitting in a bowl of salt. It was literally like the saltiest tomato soup I'd ever tasted in my life, and it was. I took one little tiny sip of it. I couldn't stomach it. It was way too salty for me. It was way over seasoned. Yeah.
Carl.
I'm loving the comments that are coming up.
Yeah.
So overall, I would say the food on the Star Cruiser is not that good. Just overall. This was.
It's like chicken, maybe.
God, I'm trying to think if this was night 1 or night 2. This is night 1. Okay, this is night 1. That was some chicken. Yes, chicken with there was mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes actually were pretty tasty. Chicken was okay, nothing spectacular.
For those of you watching, you can see where Chase did the typical Chase thing from when he would live stream in the parks, and he got a bite of it. You can see it here.
No, I didn't get a bite,
and then was like, crap. I need a picture.
No. This is no. So this is a common plate. It's for everybody. They just bring out a tray of stuff, and everybody grabs a piece.
Right.
And so as I was trying to get pictures of everything, everybody at the tables was grabbing food. And I'm like, I want to get pictures first, guys.
Got you.
But yeah.
I
tried to get pictures before anybody touched the stuff, but they were grabbing it before I could get the pictures of everything because they brought it all out at one time. So there was like just plates of stuff all over the table, and I'm trying to get pictures of all of it.
Right. Oh, we did that one.
This is
that a dessert of some sort?
No. That was a appetizer. That was an appetizer, and it was like a I cannot remember what the stuff was on there. But see the little hidden Mickey there?
And the boba balls?
Yeah, the boba balls.
Freaking boba
balls.
No,
I can't remember what the puree was on that one. I'd have to look at I need to look at the menu real quick just to remember because I cannot remember. Let me pull it up on my phone super quick. I should have had the menu pulled up. I should have had the menu pulled up in front of me so I would know because I took pictures of all the menus every night.
That's definitely a dessert.
Yes, that is a dessert plate from. Was that night 1? It's night 1. Let me get the menu pulled up real quick here. Here we go. Okay, so. Okay, I think that.
I don't know what that is.
So this is.
It does not look good.
So it is. It's a passion. It's a passion fruit. Some kind of passion fruit jelly. No. Never mind. It's whipped caramel. It's whipped caramel. So this is supposed to be the dessert's called Yogan fruit and caramel whip. So that's caramel there. The other stuff is like that jelly looking thing in the middle is called Cardelia jelly. And then that was a passion fruit mousse. Like I said, the desserts have a theme to where there's a lot. I told you this earlier, but so all the desserts had lots of fruity things in them, and there wasn't any just standard like here's some cake and ice cream for people who are picky eaters.
Right.
If you're a picky eater, the food is. McDonald sounds amazing right now. I am so glad that Jake pinned this comment because I will tell you the reason that this is funny. So night 1, they all hated the food. I enjoyed the taste of it until later. It tore my stomach up really bad. I was up sick all night. Because so the appetizers there was these little
and it was blue.
Looked like the cheeseburger pods from Pandora, but they had like beef and chicken in them, and they were dyed all these weird colors. Okay, and they had all these weird spices like turmeric and tamarind and all these weird spices in them, and they just tasted really odd.
Right.
That was like for the appetizers on night 1. Then the entree was that there was the entree. So there was
I got some other pictures here. We looked at that.
So that little thing that you had was a salad.
What little thing?
The little yellow thing you're asking what it was. I think it was a salad.
Oh, okay.
The little yellow looking thing. Yeah. I think they were calling that a salad.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, so the entrees for night 1 had beef tenderloin,
okay,
stewed shrimp, tip-yip chicken. So it was like a roasted chicken, not fried chicken. Green herbed fluffy rice and something spice floral. So it was just vegetables with sauce on them. Like I said, there was the food was. I tried a little. I tried a little bit of everything because I wanted to
Right.
just try it all. It was interesting. The flavors were very weird, and it definitely all mixed in my stomach in a not good way.
Yeah.
And food, Craig said, food doesn't kill your gut. There's a lot of food coloring in the foods. Like I
Right.
said earlier, everything is dyed weird colors. Like the mashed potatoes couldn't just be mashed potatoes; they had to be like yellow mashed potatoes. They had to put yellow dye in them.
Right.
And then there was like the burger, the pod things were like all weird colors.
Mm.
But anyway,
What's
like
up,
I said, that
Jess?
was so. Everybody in my party, except for myself, did not like the taste or smell of that food. So they ordered the kids' cheese pizza on night one, and it came out, and it was literally like smaller than like a little Totino's pizza. Like it was like tiny, like little
Right.
tiny pizza. And they said it tasted like it was like it come out of like a package, and it was not good at all. And so after the meal, they left, got in the car, and went to McDonald's and got food. And that's why that comment, Jordan saying
Yeah.
McDonald's sounds good right now, that's why I was laughing when I saw that comment pinned because they literally left and went to McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. So this is the captain's table he's showing right here. This was night two. We got to sit at the captain's table. So the captain sat to my left.
Mm.
And it had those little goblets there. They put the champagne in. That's
I thought I
another
had a picture
picture.
of it. Yeah, the bar.
It's another picture of the bar with people in it. Like you can see, I'm standing at the doorway, so you can kind of see how small the area
Oh,
is.
wow.
Yeah, it's kind of wide and narrow.
Right.
It's kind of a little wider and very narrow space. Like it's not very deep at all.
Right. Right.
Um,
We did not talk about this one.
that's actually night two. That's the dessert buffet. And let me tell you, it was
The spicy popcorn is good though,
the spicy popcorn's good, yes, but it's not a dessert.
but it's not a dessert.
Neither is the other popcorn.
Yeah.
It's not dessert. And
No.
the cookies were like store-bought cookies. They were so.
It looks like it.
Like that one on the top right, the chocolate-looking one was like I guess it was gluten-free when I did not know it was a gluten-free cookie.
Okay.
It did not taste good at all. Then honestly the best cookie was that little like the chocolate looking one with the white powdered sugar on it that you see over there
Okay.
to the left was probably one of the best cookies that they had. My brother actually liked that one. He ordered like 27 of them, I swear. Then that little muffin was like a blueberry muffin thing, and then the sugar cookie was just very basic. That other little plate there was like whipped cream, and I'm not even sure what the little things with dots on them are. Some kind of fruit, I believe.
Right.
Then it had little like sticks of white chocolate right there across the whipped cream.
Interesting.
That was basically your dessert. That was your dessert buffet. That was it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now we'll tell you, Mark
They
Daniel.
they had some ice cream, but the ice cream I wanted just like some chocolate vanilla ice cream. When they had like some kind of raspberry ice cream or something, I didn't want that. And they had some kind of they had that like what's that called, like mochi. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like the Japanese little
Right.
rolled ice cream thing or whatever.
Yep.
It was some kind of fruit flavored thing too, and I just wasn't. It's not something that I wanted. I wanted just some regular ice cream,
Yeah.
Just so I was not very impressed with the dessert buffet that they had.
I will tell you, Mark Daniel will fuss at you if you eat the spicy popcorn wrong. If
What's
you just
the
try
right
to
way
eat
to
it, you got to get a handful and shove it all in your mouth to get all the flavors.
Well, I thought that's how you're supposed to eat popcorn anyway.
Jameson got one piece at a time, and Mark fussed at him.
But that's how kids eat popcorn.
Oh yeah, but Mark fussed at him. He's like, no, that is not how you eat this.
Just think you could have ate the Cellier 40 times instead. This is true. This is very true. So this is the main dessert on night two. This is let me pull that menu up real quick and see what this is called.
Weird.
No, it's actually, so that was a chocolate cake. It's called Chandrillan Air Cake. So it's chocolate, cream of yogurt fruit, which is basically, it was a raspberry or whatever.
That's that red thing.
So no, so that was actually some kind of fruit jelly. but there's a raspberry. You can see like in the middle of the cake.
Okay.
There's
Yep.
a layer of
That
like
ring,
raspberry, like a raspberry cream mousse in the middle of the two layers of chocolate cake. I actually did enjoy that. The chocolate was very pronounced, and it was it kind of chopsticks on a bagel. No, it was chocolate sticks. I did enjoy that dessert. The chocolate was very pronounced, very rich.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't want raspberry in it. I would like to have
Right.
like a multi-layered chocolate dessert myself. I would like a
Mm.
really rich, decadent chocolate dessert.
Right.
Anyway, that's what that one was. They had a
So-
second. They actually had. I don't know if we have it or there was a second. So the seventh course, that was course number 6, was that dessert. There was another dessert course that came out after that, but it was just basically macaroons and cookies. That was all
Okay.
the last course of dessert was, which I thought was very odd.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be a show without talking about this.
Yes. So this was the infamous blue shrimp. So the picture doesn't do the presentation justice because it comes out and you can kind of see a little bit of the smoke coming off of it here, but it does have like it is smoking. There's some dry ice down in the bottom of that. It comes out, there's smoke coming off of it. The blue is very blue. You can definitely tell looking at it, it is blue. It is weird, and everybody's looking at it and they're like, I'm not eating that, I'm not eating that, I'm not eating that. That's what like everybody's like, I'm just not eating that. And so I picked it up and smelled it. Didn't have much of a smell to it. I took a bite of it and it tasted like shrimp, but it had some kind of something like so that they soak it in something, and I don't remember what it is they soak it in to give it that blue color.
Right.
It's not just like blue dye. It's something to give it the blue color,
Mm.
and it gave it a weird aftertaste. And I ate like one piece of it, and I was like, no, we're sending the rest of this back. I just no, nobody else wanted to even touch it. I
Right.
took one for the team and said I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Now it didn't. I saw some people say it had like a really fishy smell and taste to it, like in the early previews. I didn't get that. I didn't get a very fishy smell from it. Like you can
Right.
sometimes you can tell it's
Right.
like has that super fishy bad smell. It didn't have that.
Yep.
Would I eat it again? No, I would not. I would leave that.
Check, please.
Exactly. Check, please.
Gasson.
Yeah, it was. It's when you're ordering some more of the other stuff. Let's see. Oh, so you know what? That little thing on the cracker thing was actually from night two. Night two.
Okay.
Little cracker looking thing. It was like had the yellow stuff in the middle
Right.
of it. So
Right.
it was like. So actually, it was like peas and carrots mashed up together. On like a little carrot thing. Not that. No, it wasn't that one. It was the other
Not that
little
one.
like single little thing. You were asking me what it was. It was like it had the little hidden Mickey on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. The pictures on my end are super small. Oh, we did not talk about that one. We missed
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
so this is more of night one. Oh, right here. So this is what we were. That's
Yeah.
what. So this is called the Galactic Garden Bite. It's the first taste. It came out before your bread service. So it says it's beetroot tapioca cracker with carrot, peas, and balsamic. So the little boba balls had balsamic in them. But actually, I really liked that little bite. It was really good. But go back to that other picture. We can go back to that night one. I'll go back. Let me pull that menu up again. We'll talk about what that food is real quick. And just find it again. Here we go. Okay, so basically, so the bottom, like so the right side of the screen, that is the stewed shrimp. It had lemongrass, lobster cream, and coconut lime foam. It was okay. Just moving to the left one spot. That was the green herbed fluffy rice with a puffed rice crisp. Just green rice. Tasted like rice. Nothing fancy there with that one. The next one up there would be that was it's basically just spiced vegetables. And then the one up at the very top of that, that was actually that's the tip-up chicken up there. So the other
Okay.
one, so that other plate that had the thing I said was chicken was actually beef tenderloin. They had a glaze on it, which threw me off. But yeah, that's tip-up chicken up there on the far left side, and it had red peppers and sesame seeds. It tasted kind of like Chinese chicken, basically, just fried. It was fried actually. It was fried like just in the style that you would get like in a Chinese restaurant. You know, like little small
Yeah.
pieces that were fried, and it had sesame seeds on it, which really kind of reminds you of sesame chicken.
Mhm.
But it had it had a bourbon glaze on it. I actually think the chicken was probably the chicken and the beef were really good. The beef, the beef had a tamarind glaze on it, and it
Okay.
was very nobody at the table would eat it but me. They said they weren't in they did that tamarind. They didn't want to do
Right.
that. Like I said, there's
Right.
a lot of weird spices on this food on this trip.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All
right.
And drinks. A lot of drinks.
Okay, let me menu.
Is there any way you're going to remember these?
Yes, I just gotta look at the menu. I'll know what's what because let's go find the menu again. Hold on.
Chewy was roaming around.
Chew was
while you're
roaming around.
looking.
Yep. Yeah, he was roaming around.
Got to see him. There was an R2 unit.
Pretty much on night 2. On the right of him, and if you tap the magic band point, he would interact with that. He would make a noise, rotate around. But actually, if you walked up and talk to him, he would talk back to you. He would interact with you if you walked up and just talked to him.
Which is so cool.
Hold on, I'm trying to find this. Here we go. Okay, yep, I got the menu here. Okay, so
and Restream's doing this thing again.
Of course, right as I get the menu up.
Yes. I don't know why it's being so weird. Don't know why. All right, so here we go. Oop.
Okay, so this is the Hoth Icebreaker.
Okay, so that's the one where they supposedly brought the ice in from planet Hoth.
Right. Well, hold on, wait. I think that's the Hoth Icebreaker. Let me read this again one more time. Nope. That could also be the Cloud of Bespin. Well, I'm gonna say it's the Hoth Icebreaker, unless it's because it's supposed to have a big. There's supposed to be a big like sugar piece on it. So this may not be the Hoth Icebreaker, unless I already had ate the sugar piece off of it before I took the picture. But
Which is very possible.
I don't think I did that.
No, there it is. Here it
okay,
is.
right there. So that's the Hoth Icebreaker. Okay.
Yeah.
The other one's a different one. This is the Hoth Icebreaker here. So it's vodka, lemon, pure cane sugar, and a vanilla lemon foam. And then it's got it's supposed to be like an ice piece on the back of it there.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. I love the lemon foam. The lemon foam was really, really good on there.
Okay.
You can go back to the other one if you can. This is the Cloud of Bespin, rum, lemon, almond, passion fruit, and falernum lemon foam. The lemon foam on this one was not good. It was very earthy.
Okay.
Very, very, very earthy taste. I did not like it at all.
Yeah. Carl says, sticking with the Hollywood Studios puns, this is something out of the Twilight Zone. Oh, that's great.
Okay, this is the
What is that?
So that's just a metal ice cube.
Okay.
It's a round metal ice cube in there.
What is that, like a soggy onion ring in there?
That's actually orange peel.
Does not look like it at all.
It's the lighting. It's the lighting. I'm sure they had already had it was
right.
pre-made orange peel, so it had been sitting out a long time.
Looks bad.
No, I was trying to tell you what that was, but
Oh,
so that's it's orange zest. That's the Pod Chaser, old fashioned bourbon, bitters, orange zest. Very simple. Although it was like $15 for that tiny little amount you see there.
yeah. Yeah.
So this is one of the beers. This is probably the
I'm sorry. Did you just say that's a beer?
That's a beer.
That's a beer?
Yeah,
Okay.
Trandoshan Ale. So it's one of the special. They have 4 beers that are made for. Actually, they have one beer made specially for the Starcruiser. It was the Trandoshan Ale, I believe, and so that was what this was.
Okay.
Why were you asking me? Is that a beer?
It doesn't look like a beer.
Why? Because it's orange looking.
Well, it looks pink to me.
It's the lighting in there. It's orange. It's kind of an orangish color.
Well, they need to redo the lighting.
Just the lighting in there, because look at the lighting on the menu. See that the menu looks the menu looks pink on my phone, just because of the lighting in the room. The lighting is a very like a pinkish hue in that room.
Right.
So it kind of made everything look weird.
Gotcha. I think that's all the drink pictures we got. Yeah, that's all of them that you had on there. Looks
like a cider. They did not have any ciders. They did have extensive. They had some wine on tap. They had some champagnes. That is.
Looks like a wine.
No, I did not drink any wine. Does that have the cherry in it? I believe so. That may be the Manhattan. That may be the Manhattan. So it's rye whiskey, vermouth, and cherry. So
Okay.
I think that was the Manhattan.
Okay, so something normal.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like I said, they did have like some normal drinks, like the old fashioned, just very normal, basic old fashioned.
Right.
The that Manhattan, very normal. They had gin and tonic if you wanted a gin and tonic.
Okay.
And then they had like the Star Wars-y stuff. But I like the flavors of most of those, except that one I said that had the really earthy foam on it. I did not like that.
Right.
They didn't have anything that made your face go numb like Ogos, though. They didn't have none of that.
The fuzzy tauntaun.
They didn't have any face, no face numbing foam. So, yeah.
Now
but that's
that brings up a question. With being on the Starcruiser, would you still have to look up to get an Oga's reservation?
If you want one, tell them and they book you one.
Nice.
Yeah. So we had one. We got a reservation for our, once we went to we did our excursion to Batu, we had like a 145 reservation, and you get.
How did it work for Rise and Smuggler's Run?
So they gave you basically had a lightning lane, fast pass, whatever you want to call it, and you could go at any point in time you were on the planet. So anytime you were like from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., whenever you wanted to go ride it, when it wasn't interfering with the other stuff you were doing, you could technically, if you wanted to, you could go out and ride other rides in Hollywood Studios. You could go ride Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower Terror if you wanted to.
Right.
You weren't limited to just sitting in Galaxy's Edge. But now I had lots of missions pop up on the Datapad app that were like it was involved, like I had to ride the Millennium Falcon, or I had to ride Rise of Resistance. Rise, actually, we didn't even ride Rise because it had gone down. It had gone down for a while. Then it came back up. And it was a 120-minute wait, and the lightning lane came out of the attraction, and they had like switchbacks. It was going through switchbacks, and it was wrapping around through Galaxy's Edge
for lightning lane.
And so it was like you could get on the app, because I had to ride that ride for one of my missions. I got on the app and said that I wasn't able to ride the ride, and it gave me an alternate mission to do in place of it, which was kind of
cool.
That's
cool.
Yeah, so I had to do something different. I had to go like hack some panels, whatever, tap into one of those antennas, and it would give me like a little side mission to do, and it would continue the storyline. So you didn't get stuck on the storyline, and you didn't get to finish it.
It's still sad though. It's still sad that you're paying for this Starcruiser and you still cannot get on Rise.
Well, now if I had so I went in the Galaxy's Edge like early as I could. The rest of my party didn't go as early as me, so I wanted to wait on them so we'd all ride together.
Mm,
Now, if I had gone when I first got there, I could have walked on it because there was nobody in the lightning lane,
right.
and it was up. Like I said, then it went down during the course of the time I was there, where I went and was doing my missions, and then I went and ate lunch. They give you you get a food credit you can use in any quick service that you want, and so kind of like a dining plan credit type thing.
Okay.
You didn't have to use it in Galaxy's Edge. Actually, my brother actually went to Backlot Express and used his and got a burger and fries at Backlot Express because he was like, "I just want a cheeseburger and fries, man."
It's so funny. That is so funny.
Yeah. So you could use it anywhere in Hollywood Studios if you wanted to, that day that if you didn't want to do it Galaxy's Edge. I went to Donkey Bay 7 because I like the fried tip yip and the mac and cheese. It's kind of one of my go-tos, and I like that. It's very tasty to me. So
Right.
so I did that. Got a couple of thermal detonators and drink, and I did me and my brother did the Millennium Falcon. He came, we did that, and then we all was going to go do the Rise of Resistance thing, and that's like I said, in the middle of we had the Ogas in there too, and it's kind of like you're not really you don't have a ton of time you can waste because you're kind of doing things.
Mm,
And that 4 o'clock starts running up on you. Plus, actually, I went back to so I ended up going back to the ship early because then I had like little side missions pop up on the ship, and it gives you a time frame where you got to go do some of these side missions on the data pad. And it was actually before the 4 p.m. like deadline to get back, so I went back early to do my side missions.
yeah.
And so I was walking back into the ship, walking around, running around, doing my side missions up
So
until.
did they have the droid racing? Tina Marie, what's happening? Did they have the droid racing and all?
They did have droid racing. I didn't go to that, but I did like walk past as they were doing some of that. They did have the droid racing though, yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of kids that built lightsabers and built droids on this thing.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
one family that they had done like every possible thing that you could pay extra for when they were at Galaxy's Edge. They were coming back when I was riding back on the little transport ship thing, the little box truck
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's about a 5-minute ride in the box truck, and you can definitely tell you're in the back of a truck moving around. 'Cause it's kind of like you're kind of like bobbing around, and you're sitting in these chairs. You don't have seat belts, but it's not crazy. You're not going fast enough. You're going to fall out of the seat, the floor, and nothing like that.
Right.
And they've got music playing, and it's got like I think Rex is playing music, like DJ music in the background, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. For some reason, I couldn't get that video to download for me.
Oh man, it was a pretty
Yeah.
good video. So yeah, so I come back from that. This family, they had all 4 of them, parents and 2 kids. All 4 built lightsabers. All 4 had built droids. They were fully decked out in their Star Wars. All of them were Star Wars characters. Like
Wow.
they were spending so much money on this trip. It was insane.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I was like, good grief. They had really done every little thing they could buy. And they'd gone shopping at some of the shops in Galaxy's Edge too, and they had little bags and they had like
Wow.
some of the toys and stuff, like
So
grief.
so did Savi's and the droid building and all, did that work out the same where you just tell them and they get you the reservation?
I believe so. Because they basically they reserve slots on the days that it's so like on every other day. I think it's every other day they'd have slots booked up or blocked off for the people staying on the Star Cruiser. So because only one of the 2 days you're there, do you go to the 2. So like on the first day of your trip, you don't go. Second day you go. The third day you're checking out, which is also the next people's first day.
Right.
So every other day they have slots blocked for the Star Cruiser people at Oga's, at Savi's, and at Droid Depot. So you ask them if you want to do that. You ask them, and they'll book it for you.
Okay. Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Trying to think if there's anything else. Like, did it feel crowded at any point?
The only times it really feel like there's a crowd is when they had everybody, like anybody who's been on a cruise. You know how they do like the muster stations?
Never been on a cruise.
Okay, so anyway, so like basically a muster station. So like in case of an emergency, you have a designated area that you go to in case of an emergency, where you would pick up like life jackets or you get on a lifeboat on a cruise ship. So they did muster stations on this, and basically like went over like in case of an emergency what you would do. Um, and so that was like the first day when they had the big gathering in the atrium. Was like you get your muster stations, go over everything, and then like the story starts unfolding in front of you. So then there's like on night 2 when they have the big finale right here. This is like this was probably, I don't know if this was night 1 or night 2. I can't necessarily tell by I think this is probably night 1.
Hey, look, it's that famous cast member from TikTok.
Famous cast member.
The guy standing to the right of the blue lady.
Sammy?
He's he's super popular on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Super, yeah.
Did not know that. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah.
So that's night 1, because night 2, when you go back, so night 2 there's a big event, and the First Order has taken over the ship, and you're in a blockade, and so there's First Order banners everywhere in the ship, and there's like a so then they call like an emergency, so like a ship-wide emergency, telling everybody to go to their muster stations. This is when the final like act takes place on your on your cruise. This is when
which is that. So the final act is where that guy that I'm talking about is undercover as a stormtrooper.
Right. Yeah. So this picture's from night 1. This is when the First Order first shows up and says they're investigating resistance activities within the ship, yada yada. So yeah, so then night 2, like I said, the First Order's already taken over. You have the big thing, like basically Sammy supposedly gets arrested. And he ends up going undercover as a stormtrooper. And that's part of one of your storylines is you help Sammy break out of the brig. And that was one of my storylines I had. I helped him break out of the brig. And we ended up like locking some stormtroopers in like the cargo hold or something, and that's where he ends up getting the costume to wear to be undercover as a stormtrooper. So that's like one of the side missions that you go through.
Okay.
But yeah, so then the big thing happens. Basically, they're saying they tell Kylo Ren says he's coming to check out because they found all this resistance activity on the ship, and so Kylo Ren's coming to the ship. Well, then one of my side things, because I went to lightsaber training. I didn't talk about that. I had lightsaber training on night 1 at like 10 o'clock at night, and you did lightsaber training. It was a very small group of people, which is really great because we had like, okay, I can't really read the name, but I'll have to go back and
it's I can send it to you. His name is Sage Starkey TV.
Okay. So yeah, on night 1 I did the lightsaber training. And you get like there's did you have the video of that? Was there a video of that, the lightsaber training where Yoda's talking?
Yes.
That maybe I don't remember if that was lightsaber training or if that was night 2.
Force, then not just what is can you see, but what will be.
Yeah, so that was night 1 at the end of your lightsaber training, when you start doing the lightsaber training without the assistance of like a light telling you where the blaster bolts are coming. So you're like, you're reflecting blaster bolts with the Force.
Right.
There's actually like, so those little lights on the wall would kind of move around. It would kind of like telegraph to you which way the blaster bolts were coming from. You could actually block it with the Force.
Right.
Then that was actually Yoda. That was like those little lights on the wall was Yoda talking to you. So that, because of that, I had this mission to where I ended up meeting with the resistance undercover on night 2, and Rey ended up being there, and they had found a Jedi holocron, and they opened it, and Yoda talks to you. There's a hologram of Yoda that comes out of this holocron. It's like a Yoda hologram, and it's like,
oh wow,
a couple feet tall, like hologram of Yoda, which is really cool. When I was like in the moment, I didn't even take a video of that. I was just like, this is probably one of the coolest parts I got. Okay, so Yoda, and so anyway, so you do all that, and then she's supposed to trying to keep the holocron from Kylo Ren. So that's kind of like where the storyline comes to, where Kylo Ren, he shows up on the ship, realizes that Chewbacca's there. He's going to take Chewbacca. Then he finds out that he's heard that Rey was on board. Ray comes out. And that's when she does the whole thing where she, knocks her lightsaber, it extends. Everybody goes, ah! Then she does the little dip.
Has the Switch gotten better?
It was better. It was smoother. I mean,
Okay.
she was swapping them out. I mean,
Yeah.
it was better than the couple that we saw at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had their little, lightsaber battle all around the upper deck area. They had the little special effects where every time he hit the railing with the lightsaber, sparks would fly off of it.
Right.
Pretty cool effect. And then when he grabs her with the force and pulls her toward him, and she's on this little conveyor belt, like she slides to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really cool effect in real life to watch in person. I was like, okay, that's done really well.
Yeah.
But it looks like she's frozen in place, and he just pulls her to him using the force, and that was really cool.
The problem with the effects, like the spark effects, right, where it hits the railing and all, it would go through that railing.
This is, I mean, if you're slicing it like
just
that, but if you're bouncing off of it, it wouldn't necessarily go through it completely. Because, like you said,
so like the videos I saw, like they made clean contact with the railing. Like,
I think they've gotten a little better with the choreography because it was more or less they were like bouncing off of it, than like hitting it, just like slamming onto it type thing. Gotcha. Yeah. No, I see. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you would just slice through it normally if you were just slicing. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, once the big battle happens, Ray gets away. Kylo Ren goes off the chaser. Sammy comes, Sammy jumps out as is in a stormtrooper costume undercover. They take custody of the Lieutenant Croy, the First Order officers, and the ship's back under the captain's control, and we go back on our merry way. And that's when they have the dessert party after that, and like some entertainment, some music during the dessert party. And you can finish up your night. I actually went to the cantina thing, and I was the only person in there from midnight till 2 a.m. The only person in there from midnight to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Other than the bartender, me and him hanging out 2 hours.
Nice.
Nobody else in there. He said he could not believe there was nobody else in there because he said most nights they're running people off at 2:30 in the morning.
Right.
So. That's in a nutshell. That's kind of the trip. I don't know if you have any more pictures or not. I don't know if you do.
No, I pretty much covered them all. Yeah.
Okay. So my honest opinion overall, it's a really fun experience. You have to be a big Star Wars fan. If you want to even consider it, you need to be a huge Star Wars fan. You need to want to be interactive. You want to get involved. Otherwise, you're going to get nothing out of the trip. If you don't do as many missions as you can do. The food is not good. Quality of the food was very subpar, in my opinion, for the price you pay for this trip. I've been on cruises that have better food than this had.
Right.
The dessert buffet was not good. I think they need to have more food for picky eaters. There's not enough choices for picky eaters. There was some few snacks on the atrium during the day. If you wanted some snacks, it was like trail mix, goldfish, Rice Krispie treats with berries in it. And I'm like, why is there berries in Rice Krispie treats? Can we just not have a regular Rice Krispie treat? Why does it got to be space Rice Krispie treat? Whatever. There was blue and green milk on tap in the atrium all day and night if you wanted to go get some. I didn't see anybody getting any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Now you could go to the cafeteria anytime it was open. Like you couldn't just waltz in there during dinner time, but during breakfast and lunch hours you could waltz in there. You could get anything to drink you wanted from there. Had fountain drinks, coffee, water, tea, unlimited as much as you wanted. And now like breakfast and lunch were like buffet in the same dining room as dinner, but it was buffet style, and all you can eat, go up, get what you want. Buffet, just go grab anything you want. Now you had lunch on day 1, breakfast and lunch on day 2, and breakfast on day 3. When you're departing, there's breakfast.
Yeah. Mom's asking, did they have a survey for you?
So they said they emailed surveys to everybody. I still have not received a survey, and I actually want to contact somebody and be like, look, I did not get a survey, and I really want to fill out my opinions because I've got some things to say. And if I don't get one, I'll just go to guest services, and I think if you go to guest services and tell them about stuff like that, they document it, and it does get sent in. So I'll just go to guest services and tell them all about my experience.
Right.
Because the food needs to be worked on for the price you pay for that. The food would keep me out. Oh, one thing I was going to show, I didn't, because I didn't take pictures of everything apparently. So I did get some of the specialty
Oh, cool.
cups, the
Yeah.
cocktail glasses. So this is what the Mustafarian, pull that, Fiery Mustafarian comes in this.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was Año, tequila, mezcal, stone fruit, lime, chili, black salt. It says served with lava extract. So the lava extract was some kind of like hot pepper spice stuff.
Okay.
And they give it to you in like a test tube thing. And they say put it in at your own risk.
Interesting. Was it super spicy?
I put it in there and I honestly didn't do anything for me. So I don't, maybe I'm just immune to it. I don't know. But I did like this is a metal base.
Mm.
And it's got the bottom of it's got this glass is completely 100% round, so it's going to roll off my table if I sit it down. The bottom of it does say Chandrilla Starline.
Nice, very nice.
And the top of it's got the logo.
The logo, yeah,
right there.
Very cool, very cool.
So that's that one. That's what, and then this one here. There's another one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got on the bottom. It's got the Chandrilla.
Nice.
Chandrilla logo on the bottom, and that's
not much of a base.
Yeah, it's metal. It's like metal.
Right.
But,
well, I'm just talking about like the size of it. Like
it's not. Yeah,
not much of a base.
This was the came in this one. The Dagobah Vimlet. Vodka gimlet. So vodka, herbaceous orange liqueur, lime, and peppercorn. So that's what came in this one. I don't know. I thought I had a picture of that somewhere in my pictures. It may not have got transferred over.
Right.
Right. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. Yeah, it's just so much to talk about. It's there's so much to. There was so much to do. I was just gonna look real quick and see if I had a picture of it, the drink, on my phone. I could bring up. Sure thought I did, but oh wait, it was night one where I went and got this, wasn't it? Okay, I guess I didn't take a picture of it. I don't know why I didn't. Oh well, that's like the one thing I didn't take a picture of. But anyway, so like I said, back to my honest opinions on it. Is it worth the money? I think you have to have four. I think you need to have, if you're a family of four, you need to all four be big Star Wars fans. And you have to be very adventurous on food, and you don't need to be expecting a lot of quality in the food. If they were to improve the food tremendously, I would consider going back. Until they can improve the food, I would not consider going back on it again.
That's interesting. I mean, that I will be honest with you, that shocks me. Just based off the previews, the content or the concept art, the videos that we've seen, we've both been, pretty critical. So to hear you say that just about the experience, food, the
experience was people, I do feel like the experience is way too data pad phone driven.
Right.
Way too much of this. You have to have it in front of you the whole time. But I mean, you still, like, when you're experiencing things, you can put it away and experience.
Right.
But to do the missions, you have to have this. You have to be on it. You have to be tapping your magic band at all these places. You have to be doing the missions on here and talking to people on the missions. I should, and it won't let you screen. I don't think it lets you screenshot that stuff. I was going to screenshot some of it.
Yeah, probably not. But I mean, that like I was saying, like, that does surprise me though. I mean, because you wasn't like you was looking forward to it, but not really. Like, there was no expectations.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's awesome that you did enjoy it, that the experience, the immersion, and everything.
Like I said, I mean, it's definitely immersive. I will say the only person that broke character at all was the the bartender, because I was there I was there with him by myself. Actually,
Right.
he went to Jacksonville State.
Oh wow, small world.
Yeah, I know. So
It's a small world.
we talked about Alabama and stuff for a while, you know,
Nice.
and that was kind of cool.
Nice.
But yeah, like I said, I would go back if the food was better. Until they improve the food tremendously, I wouldn't go back.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I mean, you know, UNA and Jack State, you know, rivals.
Yeah.
I gotta say it. Get a degree from Jack State, you can be a bartender on a fake space cruiser.
It's true. You can. He actually he actually used to work at Ogus. He got the call to bump up to the Starcruiser when they opened. He was very excited about that. So.
Oh yeah, I bet. So, well, all righty, we're gonna get out of here. We got Disney After Dark going over on TikTok here in just a few minutes. Yeah. So Chase, just real quick, but if you have the money laying around, book it or no?
If I had the money just laying around, like I said, if you have the money if you just have the money laying around and you just want to go, I mean, go. I mean, I wouldn't say don't do it, but at the same time, like I said, in order for you to thoroughly 100% enjoy the experience, you set your expectations low on the food, and you got to be a big Star Wars nerd, and you got to be willing to interact. You got to be willing to interact. Otherwise, you're just staying in a very expensive hotel room.
Yeah. There you have it. Make sure to check us out next week.
Maybe bring some of your own food and stock your refrigerator in your room, and maybe that will make the experience a little better. But I mean, you shouldn't have to bring your own food because the food's provided.
Right. So make sure to check us out next week. Chase will be doing the rest of his trip, the 9 days remaining. And his failure.
It will be yes, a failure, and it'll probably be more Universal heavy just because we did the after hours at Universal, and that was so much fun.
Right.
Super good time. Way better than the Disney after hours. Way better.
Nice. That'll be cool. Is there McDonald's in space? There is not, but you can access it.
You can access the one on Disney property if you go back to Earth during the middle of your journey.
Yes.
And so our journey comes to an end, but yours continues on. Grab hold of your dreams and make them come true. For you are the key to unlocking your own magic. Now go, let your dreams guide you. Reach out and find your happily ever after.